Alright, we are connecting. It says we're online. Sweet. 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 That looks like that's a stable connection. Let's see. Are we live? Oh, we are. Cool. Dope. Awesome. Well, since we know that we're live, welcome. This is a DevStream. Just a chill stream where I give myself a 3-hour time limit and see if I can pop out the end with something useful. So, welcome. This is the beginning of it. I'll just open up my LinkedIn Live. Awesome. Is it choppy? Is it good? Hey there, Prasad. I'm good, I'm good. Let's see. Am I dropping frames? No, it looks pretty solid. Cool. So, I guess I'll start the time limit and let's get going. Alright. Cool. So, we're in Bot Framework Composer. Let's just start. So, today we're building the receipt bot. Let's see. Cool. So I'll just pause it. See if I can hear myself. Let's see. Awesome. So we are good. We are streaming. I'll be watching the comments as they come in. If you guys have any questions, this is Bot Framework Composer. Today we're building the receipt bot. This is a dev stream. The receipt bot will be deployed in Microsoft Teams. I'm using some tools: Bot Framework Composer, Microsoft Teams, Adaptive Cards, Power Automate. This is, like I said, Composer. Let's see how much time I got. Cool. We are a minute in. Sweet. And it looks like it's going solid. It's really not dropping any frames, so it's pretty sweet. So I'll show you what we're going for. So here's what we're going for. So this is Power Automate. This is the AI builder, and this is a receipt processing AI. It's one of Microsoft's default AI solutions, and it's good at scanning receipts, and I think this bot could be useful for expense reporting. Essentially, like, let's say you're going out to Home Depot buying a lot of stuff for a build. Maybe you're setting up a workshop, or you're just going out to lunch. Maybe it's business expense lunch. You can just put it on this bot, scan the receipt, and it's good to go. It just gathers all the stuff, and hopefully I can find a way to integrate this into a chatbot and hook it up to Microsoft Teams. So that's the plan for today, and I'll kind of just show you guys how to get there. Cool. 3 minutes in. We got a lot of time. A lot of time to go, which is great. So I don't expect you guys to stick around for the whole thing. This is going to be a while. But this is what I'm doing today. So stick around if you want. It'll also be uploaded to YouTube, and I'll probably have timestamps and cut it up into smaller portions that are actually important. So now that we're getting on to things, I'm going to start messing with the bot. So this is the welcome message. I'm gonna add a new intent. Actually, we should probably add Lewis too, but okay, let's change it to Lewis so I can add intents, and I'll have to add Lewis in a sec. What's the name of this? Go to receipt. See. Go to receipt. I have a receipt. I need to process a receipt. And I'm bad at spelling. Might as well be a math major and not even know English. Just only know numbers. Payment. We're just gonna make it easy on myself. I need processing business expense. And then do process business expense. So what I was doing here is I'm setting up the Lewis intent, which will go to the receipt section, and I'll probably have another section I'll just actually set up now on activity. Whenever a message is received, maybe. Yeah, we can do this real quick. Whenever a message is received, and we'll call that check file. Yeah, call that check file. We'll come back to that later. We'll come back to that later. So now that we got that, we're gonna set up our Lewis intent condition as well, and we're gonna say greater than 0.8. So what I just set up here was a condition that checks when this intent is triggered, based on the dot score. The dot score of when this intent is triggered in Lewis, and if the score is above 80% confidence, this intent will start. So that's handy to know. That could be good. So let's just say, please give me receipt. We're gonna have to optimize this later, but we're just setting it up easy so I can later figure out what I want to do. Oh wait, there's an ask that is for files and attachments, so actually this will probably work better. It might not, because sometimes it's wonky. It might not be great, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see when we get to flow. So let's just establish that property as a user dot receipt file, which is great. So when a user asks, it says I have a receipt, this intent will trigger now if it's above 80% confidence match of the Lewis intent, and it'll ask, please give me a receipt, where in which it'll store that receipt into this property as a attachment that you can now access to a, well, I'm actually gonna access it as a text value now, as well as send it, as well as send it in an HTTP request. So let's actually, before we get to this HTTP request, because that's a totally different beast, I'm gonna set up the Lewis AI real quick. So let's just sign on in. Hopefully I don't have to sign in my phone. All right, we were ready. We were ready to do it, but we didn't have to, so that's great. And we just need this primary key. I know for a fact I'm going to need this primary key, so we're just setting up. So let's just make sure actually that none of my apps are called ReceiptBot. Nope, cool. Not on this account. So we need, see, we need this primary key. So why we need that primary key, and goodness, did I spell receipt wrong in the name of ReceiptBot? Whew. All right, we're keeping it. Whatever, we're cool. We're keeping it. Who can change that? Oh, yes, we can. I think that's right. Hopefully, we gotta check it now, because now I'm even second guessing myself. That's embarrassing. Yeah, we're good. Cool. So we spelled that right. We're gonna have to go back and, oh, cool, I fixed it. So yeah, we need that Lewis primary key. So if we go back here, you can go up to here after you're signed into Lewis.ai. Which is Microsoft's language understanding NLP system, and you can just go to settings and grab that primary key, come back here to establish it inside of your bot, and click OK. And then what that's going to do is it's going to set up your dev environment for emulation. It's not going to publish it to anything at the moment, and it's actually not even going to set it up in Azure. It's just going to set it up for emulation, which is nice, but not super cool yet. It'll just be good for dev purposes. Not really, no one can really access it yet, and it's not online, so you're just good for emulation. So now you can see that I've started the bot. It's gonna ask to access the web app, which I think is just setting up communication between the emulator and the web app software, bot firmware composer, because it establishes a node. And then you just click test emulator, and what we're gonna do is see if this works. So it's gonna trigger the welcome message. Yep, cool, it's an empty bot. Dope. And then we're gonna say I have a receipt. Cool. And it's probably gonna come back to me and say, please give me a receipt, please, please. Oh boy, that's not good. Well, let's see, it didn't even trigger the Lewis, so we're gonna have to restart that conversation, see what happens. I have a receipt. Okay, it doesn't trigger the Lewis, so let's do this. So the greeting goes to a welcome message. Nothing's out of the ordinary of that. Let's restart this. It could be that that's also an issue. Oh, it's because of this. All right, let's just get rid of this real quick. We will have to use that later, I think. But we might need to put that in a different dialogue. Because essentially we're going to want to try and capture files that are sent to it without having the Lewis intent trigger. So essentially you're going to have to look for a file. So I might be able to do that in an activity. So I could have a check activity file thing. But I think that's what's screwing it up. So Cool. Gets my ngrok set up, my bots. That's not what I want to say. I have a receipt. Cool. See, and this is what you want it to do. Boom. So, and this is what I was talking about. So the go-to receipt intent, which was set right here, the go-to receipt intent, this is just markdown language to essentially establish that I don't have to type in expression dot user dot entity dot intent dot go to receipt dot score. You get it. This is just shorthand for that, and inside of that is the score, and since it was above 80%, it triggered this intent, which is great. And now it's asking me for my please give me your receipt instruction, which I can now reply. I wonder if I set it up. So if I set it up as an attachment, I believe there's fallback commands. So yeah, I didn't set it up in this emulation, but I wonder if it'll trigger. So it has a max turn count of 3. So if I actually say like hello, okay, cool. So it'll fall back on itself, which is great. Because that's what you want it to do. It's actually asking for a receipt. So essentially I could just boom, give it a Home Depot receipt, and hopefully that works. So it did. Cool. So it even gave it a content URL. I don't think that URL is real. I don't think it's going to open it. Oh, we're not going to open that. So but yeah, no, that worked. So essentially what happened was it found this URL. I mean, it received the attachment properly. So it received it actually as an image. So that's probably okay, because most files that are coming in will be images of the receipt. So we're gonna have to program it for that. I don't know what the flow is gonna need, but I think it's operating on a image and processing the image. So that's good. That's handy dandy right there. So we can just move along back to Composer. And we are 15 minutes in. We are trucking on through, which is great. And now we need to set up the flow aspect of this, and then we need to deploy it to Microsoft Teams, and maybe make a nice little adaptive card. Adaptive card welcome message. I don't know much more is necessary for the receipt bot. Oh, actually, probably expense report tracking if we get there. We got some time. So, but if no bugs aside, we can just start setting up our flow. So we got the bot set up in emulator, so it's pretty much doing whatever it needs to do to get a file and a receipt right now, which is like the bare minimum, right? I'm setting up a Lewis intent that captures some very basic commands, and then accepts a attachment, which is a receipt, and then it's going to send it to a flow, which is pretty much all I need to do to get it to where it needs to be processed by this guy, which is the receipt processing AI. So I'm going to use it in a flow, but since I've already used it in a flow and started setting it up just to save a little bit of time, I've set up a schema, which essentially it sets up a flow as an API to where I can post whatever I want to it. And essentially, if the schema is set up right, you can post whatever you want. So I'm just gonna post my URL. So essentially what I'm going to post to it is the content URL to this file, which is the receipt URL, which will be generated depending on where it's located. So if it's located on Teams, there's 2 URLs that get generated. If it's located on the web, there's 1 URL that gets generated, which is this URL. So we're going to start with this one. And then we're going to move on to the more complex one, which is like a download URL, which Who knows if that's going to work, but it's an easy way to bypass. I wouldn't say bypass. Easy way to get access to the files on Microsoft Teams without having to have a direct connector. So this is kind of what we're gonna set up and post to our Power Automate flow right now. So here's the URL that I set up with this JSON schema. Sorry that I keep taking it off. What it's looking for is a receipt URL, and then I gave it an example of a URL, which is just a dummy URL. So essentially it's just looking for a URL, and that's all. It's just looking for a URL, and once when it has that URL, it's going to store it as, I believe, yeah, just this ID, which is receipt URL. And then you can use it in different aspects of the flow. So this is a webhook API. Essentially, you can use it with this command, so you can just type it in here. I'll show you. So when HTTP, so I think it's this one, or oh, it's a trigger. It's a trigger. My bad. So I'll show you. It's in the trigger. So HTTP. Boom, trigger, yeah, this one, right? So it's a premium one, so it costs a little bit, but it's very useful because you can essentially turn a flow into an API, which is very handy dandy. So we're gonna take this, go back to Composer, put that in the URL. I believe all we need to do is put it in the body. So essentially what it's looking for, if we go back here, is actually, I think I have it stored. Cool. I think it's just looking for this. So this is what I use to generate my schemas. So JSON-schema.net, pretty great open source GitHub tool, and it's just looking for that receipt JSON. So I'm just gonna give that in the body. So boom. So it's looking for receipt, and we already know what the receipt file. So yeah, receipt file, content URL, but we'll double check. And actual content URL, and boom, boom, boom. Cool. Sorry, I was just checking the LinkedIn. Usual content that one would expect on a LinkedIn stream, but I hope it's useful. I'm not one to put on a big show, so it's just kind of gonna be chill, and if you watch the stream you'll learn probably quite a bit. If you have no interest in chatbots, this will probably be not very entertaining, but if you do, it'll probably be pretty useful, which is nice and what I'm aiming for. So yeah, if you guys have questions, don't hesitate to ask. We're about, I don't know, I would say like 1/5 of the way done with this bot. And we're just setting up the object that will be sent to the webhook that I set up on Power Automate, which is over here. So let's see. Hopefully that works. I mean, it was set up with the JSON schema.net, so I mean, it should work. So we'll save that. And we'll go back to Composer, and we will also save that. And that looks good. I don't really think it requires anything else to accept. I'll probably add an auth token or something later on if I really require it. If I'm like scared someone's gonna overload this webhook, but I highly doubt it. So now that we've saved this, and we've saved this, and I'll check the time. Oh, half an hour in. Oh, going. Oh gosh. Well, we still got a ton of time. So we're gonna restart this conversation. And we see the welcome message, so nothing has broken. We are still good, which is great, because sometimes you're like, oh, I reset the bot and everything breaks, and you're like, oh no, what happened? And sometimes you just don't know. And then it takes a good 30 minutes to a lifetime to figure it out, and sometimes you have to restart. And you just never figure it out. But luckily that was not the situation. So I have a receipt. And please give me a receipt, which is great. So it's still working. It still wants receipts. Fantastic. So I'm going to use Frank's because Frank's looked pretty dope. And it got a content URL, and it says that it posted to cool. It did post to the flow with a 202 status code. What did it even send? It sent this content URL, which probably does absolutely nothing for it. Yeah. Well, we'll at least check. We'll go check if that did anything on this side, because I don't think it will. Yeah, that failed. Cool. Cool. Well, at least it went through, and it was probably like, yeah, I got that file. And that file did nothing. Nothing. And I'm just gonna open it just to make sure. It's probably binary. Okay. Yeah, that's I don't know. That doesn't even work. That's nothing. That's not a file. That's not a thing that it can read. Okay, and I know why that's not working. It's because this is a local file, and this is an emulation, and this is not being stored anywhere, and this is not a content URL. This is a local file URL that leads to Nowhereville, and we need to post this somewhere to where it will actually work. So this is, I would say, step 1 point. We're moving in the right direction. We're 15% of the way done. Maybe 25% of the way done. Because now we have to publish the bot. I was trying to find words for greater than 1/5. I guess you could go with 3/10. 3/10, which is I'm gonna stop talking. That's 30%. Okay, so we're not very smart when we have to talk and build the bot at the same time, obviously. So what are we gonna call this? Receipt bot, which we failed at spelling multiple times. So, oh, we did it. All right, fantastic. And we want to publish this to an Azure web app, and essentially I need to go to the readme file, which is where you actually get to use Visual Studio Code for once. So let's even make sure that that's even on the screen, which it is. Good. Fantastic. So what we need to do is go to the readme file. Where is the readme file? It is in Composer. Cool. And we're going for receipt bot, which is spelled wrong. And that's good. And we need to do npm install. We need a terminal. That's what we need to do. And we need to go to the B terminal, the B hard drive. Whoops. How do we do it? CD. I think it's this. Oh no. Oh no, I forgot. What do you mean dot's not a rest? Oh yeah, because you need cd dot. Yeah. And then cd, can I do that? Nope. Okay, so we need to go to B. So yeah. Okay, I'm not horrible. I can path. I can use terminal. Alright, so this is where we need to establish the provision. Well, we need to provision those Azure resources so we can set up the bot. And I'm just accessing these resources and setting them up through the terminal, which is currently the only way to do it, which I'm using the preferred way of doing it, which is Visual Studio Code Terminal, and let's just keep on trucking. So we're in the B drive, which is pretty much my everything, and then I'm gonna CD into Composer. Cool, and then we're gonna CD into Chatbot. We're gonna CD into scripts, I think. Yeah, scripts. What else we're gonna do? So npm install. I apologize for everyone who probably doesn't have all this stuff installed on your computer, but you're gonna have to get npm install working, and when you do, life will be dandy. But if you go to this GitHub, and I'll go there real quick, all the instructions to get this all working, well, actually just download it, and most of the things that you need can be figured out here. So just go back to Azure, and as you'll see, I'm in my ReceiptBot scripts, and it's going to start to unpack some stuff, and it's requesting some packages. It added some packages. Cool, fine and dandy. Need help with Word2Vec. I actually haven't used Word2Vec. Okay, so now that we've installed that, we need to provision all of our resources, which the way that I do this is I go up here, and I drop that up here, and then I need to go grab a different song. Yeah, that's great. Cool. When you grab a different song, you can continue to focus on other things, like getting all your provisions set up. So I'm gonna go back to Azure. So go to my portal, my Azure portal, got some accounts, go to this one, and then we go to our subscriptions. Which one do I want to put it on? I'll just put it on our partners. Do we have money? A little bit. Dope. I'll have to spend wisely. So really should not have that on screen for very long. Apologize. Spending limit was reached. Cool. I wonder if things will still work. I think they will. So name of... do this over here. Just for privacy's sake. And then let's call it ReceiptBot. You're not missing much, guys. And let's give it a password. And let's just set it to its environment dev. And then we will add that right here, and hopefully... oh yeah, we gotta sign in, but I mean... which is the safeguarding feature, which is great. And now that I do have access to that subscription, it generates a tenant ID, and it's disabled. Cannot perform any... it's re-enabled. Okay, cool. Spending limit was reached. Unfortunate. All right, we'll try our other one. Because we're just doing this for demo purposes. But this is what you need to do. You can set up a free bot, but it needs to be provisioned somewhere. So gonna set it up on my personal provision. Yeah. Cool. Cool. And as you can see, it is successfully deploying. It's deploying to my personal Azure subscription. So we can just check if that's going up on the portal real quick. So as that's going, I'll have to sign back into measure. Let's see, is this subscription 1? Cool. Let's go to my resources. All of my resources on my Azure. And you can see that I am now setting up receipt bot. So these are all the resources that are getting set up automatically via Composer. Well, yeah, I guess it is through Composer. Through Composer's Azure portal scripts deployment. I'm not totally sure if this is managed by Bot Framework. It's probably managed by Bot Framework and Composer. But it's still deploying everything. It's going to take a while. It's going to eat into a little bit of my time. If you have questions, don't hesitate to ask. I think I only really get them if I refresh the stream. So I'm going to refresh it real quick. Alright. Nothing new. Nothing new at the moment, which is great. If you do have questions, don't hesitate to ask. I will be trying to refresh every so occasion. It is still deploying, so maybe I'll go get more coffee. I'll get more coffee. I will leave a little example of the bot and what we're going for on the screen. Let's see if I can reopen the solution. Yeah, guess we'll reopen the solutions. Show it off one more time and then go get another cup of coffee. Because I think this deployment's going to take another, like, I don't know, 3 minutes at least. So let's see. So these are all the Come on, building the ammo. Alright. Cool. Right up. Alright. let's bring it on over here. So here's the example ones that they have, which is cool, showing off a little bit of stuff, but I think I have a little bit more complex ones. Yeah, that one's gonna take a little bit longer to process, but that's like a beefy receipt. It's like a lunch, maybe 2 people. Let's see if it gets it all right. See, that's pretty good. It maybe missed the add tomato, so it's off by a little bit, but got the total. So that's good. So you can't just like itemize for everything, I guess, because you missed tomato, but you know. It got the merchant name, the address. Don't know if it got the number because it doesn't exist on that receipt. Cool. So let's do a gumbo shop real quick. This is also a pretty average looking receipt, maybe 2 people. It says guest 7. That's just guest 7. It missed a couple things. I mean, it did get the subtotal, so I mean, is what it is, but it did miss a couple things. Looks like if it's not zoomed in, like maybe, or if they're not super spaced, has a little bit hard time reading them, but it always gets the subtotal, which is cool. So this is kind of what we're going for. Oh man, you think it would be able to figure that out? Because, you know, it could see this. Maybe it just doesn't really know. I don't know. See, and we're still deploying. So, yeah, this is kind of what we're going for. This is what we got. And, we will get somewhere. That's the goal. We'll get somewhere. So I'll be back with more coffee. Hopefully it's deployed. And we can go further. Let's see how much more time we got. We are 40 minutes in. Cool. Oh man, this can take a while, is right. It is still going, still deploying, still doing its own thing. Goodness. Alright, well I wonder if we can do something productive in the meantime. Probably. So, well, this is what we're going for. Can we start on an adaptive card, even though that we don't know what this is? Well, I mean, yeah, we can. Yes, we can, because we know a lot of stuff. We know the merchant name, merchant address, merchant phone number if it has it, transaction date, transaction time, you get it. So we'll start building that real quick. So designer, adaptive card. I always design it for dark teams, and I always just delete everything because actually that's not true. I usually have things already built that kind of makes sense, so let's see if this kind of makes sense. That's a good starting point. So let's just say transaction receipt. Cool. Transaction receipt. And then I don't think it really needs that. I think what it will need is another one of those. Probably in the center. Some large spacing and some wrap that stuff with a separator and make it bold. I don't know about that bold. Well, yeah, if we make this extra, well, that's already extra large. If we make that, that's already bold. Alright. Different color. Different color, different color, different color. Boom. Yeah. Let's do that. So we already know merchant name. Do we? Okay, here's the strategic decision. Do we want to do columns now? Columns. Do we have a layout for columns? Probably. Let's look into it. I think we have a layout for columns. Let's check the Azure real quick. Oh, man, that's gonna take a while, so we might as well be doing something else. So this is DevStrat right here. DevStrat. Close your programs. DevStrat, do other things while things are going on. So we need to try to go back to our composer, because our composer, it's a resourceful tool because of the sheer fact that I have other crap in here that might help me out. So speed things up. This might have I don't think this one has a column. We'll look. So that definitely doesn't have a column. That didn't look. There's only 2 cards here. Oh boy. Alright, well. There's only a... Oh, this does have a column. Cool. Yeah. This is good. We could use this. Yeah. Did I copy the name? Yeah, that's stupid of me. Yeah, let's take this. So what I'm taking is an adaptive card from something else, and oh boy, do not edit anything. Do not destroy anything while you're here. All right, let's go back. Cool. Because I think this card's cooler. Yeah, it has columns. This is way cooler. This is gonna be way better. Much better, please. Much better. More better. More better it is. Cool. So, but instead of these, I just need text. I don't think this needs to be as big as it is. I think that's controlled in the column section. Probably. Different song, please. Let me just go to my library. Spice it up a little bit. This far in. I'm an hour in. People are listening. I can handle it. So, my download history. I can handle some song. That's fine. Cool. Alright. We're back to it. So what we're gonna do is assume that we know that these are going to be established as a response from the flow that I set up over here. We're going to add it to a table as well as send the response back to the bot. So it's a little bit farther down the line. Maybe in 30 minutes we'll get there. But still deploying, still setting up stuff. So we're in the world of doing other stuff. So we're gonna continue to do other stuff. So this is a transaction. Let's see. I cannot spell receipt. Oh man. The life of me. Cool. And this is merchant name. It's embarrassing because my first language. I don't even have other ones that are that proficient. Merchant name, what would this be? Transaction date, time. Action date time, and what else do we know? We know I mean phone number, I guess. Merchant phone. I mean, I guess if like you do need to know you need to call if you like lost something or something. Makes sense. Merchant address. I mean, all these are actually pretty useful. So, who am I kidding? Why am I pish-poshing my data gathering? Like, come on. And we can add more stuff. But do we need to add more stuff? Yes. Always kind of yes, because yes is cool. So let's add more stuff, because this is capturing more stuff. I want to add the purchased items, and I wonder if I could create a loop array to do that. And I think I have time. Yeah, we got 2 more hours. We're good. We're handy dandy good. Good to go. So what we're gonna do is copy. And we actually don't. I mean, we'll keep it, but we'll change the name. Submit. Accept. Receipt. Like approve. Transaction. Wow, now we're looking official. Approve transaction. Deny transaction. And just make this positive, make this negative. I wonder if that'll even show up. I mean, it'll definitely show up in the emulator. So if you deny the transaction, it won't be approved for taxes. I don't know. Let's just add that and do that. That looks bad. It looks different. I wouldn't say bad. That's too harsh a word. Just looks different. And I would like a third button, but I don't know what the third button will be, so we're not gonna add it. And what we're gonna do is we're going to add another column set by copying the column set right there. And I think it didn't work because I did something wrong. Nope, it worked. It worked. And then, but all these look properly spaced. I don't know why this one is taller. Natively taller. Ah, that's why. Well, you know, yeah, we don't need it to be. We can be not set here. You too. I don't think we need to. And what we can do. Oh, where's the wrap? Goodness. Alright, wrap. I do think that this needs a separator. And then probably this needs a separator because it's going to be items. And I could put like date and time somewhere up here. That's fine. Wonder. Provision failed. Oh no. Bot is not valid. Bot's registered to a different name. Bot name is already registered to a different bot application. So I need to change the name. So someone. What? How? So the misspelled name receipt bot is taken. That's catastrophic. We need to change our name. Wow. That's a rough way to go out. And I probably will have to delete. A rough way to lose time. Who could predict that? Someone had your misspelled bot name. Where's our Azure? Oh, I mean, I guess it was spelled right. So someone's definitely made a receipt bot. Nah, that's definitely my bad. I need to call it something else. Oh, tragic. Come on. I mean, okay. And we will name it something else, I suppose. So delete that. And we'll try again. And I think go back to receipt bot. And you know what? Just because I think I could rename it. I don't know if it renames everything else. We're not gonna risk it. It's not worth it. The name's fine. But we do need to, I believe, change. Just change this to demo testing. Change that. which means I'll have to delete the Lewis eventually. I mean, who could have guessed that's your bot name was going to be taken by someone. I mean, of course someone's made a receipt bot. They've probably made a receipt bot. Microsoft's probably made a receipt bot. But why it doesn't deploy with the same name, that is the question. So I'm going to have to change the whole name. I have an idea. I might be able to just copy the whole project. Change the name. Yeah, you know what? Here's what I'm gonna have to do. Here's what I'm gonna do. As a little bit of a effort. It is effort. Gonna copy this. I wonder if it, since the names are different, because I can change everything. Receipt, bot, demo testing. So receipt bot demo test. Ooh, I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think it's gonna work. The bot itself is not that complex, so maybe. Yeah, that's not gonna work. I know that's not gonna work. So we're gonna have to rename the bot real quick. We're just gonna remake it because we weren't that far along, which is great. We're gonna have to rename it something else. So receipt bot demo testing. We don't need that. And the cool thing is, go back to this bot. Go back to this bot. And unfortunately, we have to do this because someone else has the name receipt bot. I don't think someone has the name receipt bot demo testing. I mean, hopefully not. And luckily, we weren't that far along on the bot. And since Composer is constructed in adaptive dialogue, I can easily transfer this whole project to a new, because I wasn't too far along, which is nice. Totally cool. Oh man, we are coming down to the wire. So go to receipt. Man, that time. I don't even know if that's how you spell receipt. It is not. Go to receipt. Cool. I have a. I'm just gonna copy this because this is the worst word for me. I don't understand why. I mean, we're gonna have to go back to the other. So I'm just setting up the Lewis intent again. So I know this isn't very fun to look at. But it'll get better as time goes on. This is my first stream dev session, or DevStream. As well as things a bit faster. I'll learn faster ways to do things, more fun projects, more useful projects. and hopefully not have name conflicts in the future. That'll speed up things in the future. Won't lose me like 15 minutes. So setting up this condition again. Score greater than 80%. Has to be set to an expression. Hopefully this object gets stored again. It does. Cool, cool, cool. Everything's good. We will start the bot again. Because this looks good. We need our Lewis primary key again. Let's see if I have that window open. I do not. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Here's my Lewis primary key. Lewis. Here you are. And it's going to publish that. But we need to navigate to our other section because you know, receipt bot unfortunately already exists. So hopefully this version of receipt bot does not exist and can deploy, because someone hopefully does not have receipt bot demo testing. They definitely could, but hopefully not. Let's just go to scripts, just make sure that it's all good and dandy to go. Alright, cool, that's ready to test an emulator. Hopefully everything's connected and our ngrok will just give us a response. Cool, it does. I have a receipt. See, and by the end of this I will be able to spell receipt. And see, I even spelled it wrong. I don't even know if that's right anymore. It's okay. I can't. Yeah, I spelled it right. Cool. I spelled it wrong this way. Alright, cool. I spelled it wrong over here, which I did, of course. Cool. It does look right. It's starting to look right now. So I think we are learning how to spell receipt. But regardless, let's use Frank's. Cool. It did work, and it did post a status 200. Yeah, it's accepted. It's accepted. Cool. Cool. So it got accepted, but as we know, it didn't work. So we're back to where we started, which is great. So now I need to do exactly what I just was gonna do with the other bot. So yeah, unfortunately, sometimes you have to restart, like I was saying, based on unforeseen circumstances. And I probably could have changed the bot name, maybe. Not totally sure. Renaming folders, these scripts and settings and dialogues I'll show you actually correspond down at the bottom to folders. So this is looking for a folder or a file inside of the generation that's called receiptbot.english US language generation. So if you rename these folders, or if you rename the parent folder, sometimes things can go wonky. So I've learned that fastest methodology is, if your bot's not too far along, is just to copy and paste it. Just go fast, copy and paste, reconstruct a new bot, and hope that it makes sense. And did I just close on my terminal? Yes, I did. Alright, well, downsides of talking. So we will cd back into our B. So B composer cbot demo testing scripts, and I think it probably did do the npm install. It probably got done with that, I would assume, but we'll just do it real quick. So we'll just copy and paste this. Oof, don't do that. Yeah, it already installed because that was really fast. And hopefully I could construct this real quick. construct this. And this is just the default things that Composer has to have you do to deploy the bot. This is what it needs to provision all the resources on the Azure server. So hopefully I can just get that real quick. I have Azure open. Cool, I deleted all of my other ones that I just deployed, which is awesome. So I need to redeploy. And I'm going to go to my subscription. Yep, my free Azure subscription. I'm going to grab my thingamaboop. Subscription ID. Plug that in up here. Not showing you. Really shouldn't be given out. No. You can get your out. Not very hard to get an Azure subscription ID. They're free to some degree. And then I'm gonna call it oh man, it could have been pretty easy to change, I think. Change my Azure provision, but it still would have. I still would have had to take a lot of time and redo all this. But it's a matter of changing the Azure command prompt that you're deploying. So essentially just calling it a different name, but now I know that as well. So it's asking me to do this, and I'm deploying it, and it's gonna ask me to sign in. And I'm gonna sign in real quick and give it this little code so it can authorize my command prompt to start doing the CMD Azure deployment for me. So now down here, yeah, it's saying it could take a while, but what it's doing is it's now deploying my bot provisions onto the Azure server, and I can show you that here. So now we're on Azure. We're gonna look at our resources. We're gonna go to my subscriptions. We're gonna apply that, and then we're gonna go to our resource groups. And you can see that I am deploying receipt bot demo testing dev. And that's what this Azure service is now setting up, which is great. So hopefully that gets deployed properly, and we can carry on with testing the bot properly and looking into getting the flow actually receiving a proper URL. I'm not even sure if it needs a URL. I assume it does. It might need a file, like a direct file URL as well. So we'll look into that as well. But we currently have the API set up to grab a file from a bot, process the image via a model that Microsoft has given us. That processes receipts, and it says it's used for receipt processing using AI Builder to scan them directly into an Excel spreadsheet or whatever, which is great. So that's what I'm doing. And now I'm just going to be taking the data from a webhook that I set up, which will allow me to send data from a bot to this, get it processed, and send it back, which will be good. So looks like I am almost halfway in. Hopefully, we can get that deployed and carry on with our mission. Let's see how far along it's going. Alright, so it looks like it is. Ooh, that's good. Got to 8 resources so far. Fully deployed the Lewis intents. Cool. I think I can delete this one. Yeah. So now it has the testing environment and the other one, which is great. And the live environment, which is great. So that means it's getting farther along. I might not need both of these, but we'll wait it out. Let's refresh. Cool. I mean, it's still deploying. It says it can take a while. So let's go back to making our adaptive card. So, is this hero music? Yep. Cool. Awesome. So let's go back to this. We are going to be getting the purchased items. So purchased items. What we want to do, actually this is going to be actually pretty big, so because it's going to be an array, and I'm probably just going to print the whole array, and I'm not sure if it's going to be able to wrap properly, so we're going to want all these to wrap as well. So wrap all these, wrap all these, wrap all day, wrap all night. Alright, cool. And this is actually probably going to be one of the first ones that we actually do want weighted a different size. So we're going to actually probably want this to be 125 maybe. Yeah, that seems about right. Maybe even like 140. Yeah, because it's going to be in a big array of things. It could be a chunk probably like this big. And I'm not sure if it's going to format properly. I might have to format it. So we'll see how this goes. And then what we're going to want to do is get another one of these bad boys. Well, I guess the music's probably not that loud for you guys. I'll just turn it down on my headset. Well, that's too low. Alright, we're good. So we're gonna want to copy another column set. Cool. And put that down here. And I think we need another comma. Yeah, cool. And we're gonna want to not have that have a crazy pixel height. And this looks wonky, but it might look fine later as a transaction receipt. And what this is going to be the subtotal and tax probably. Well, let's see. Is it going to be? Yeah, subtotal and tax. Because I believe it's just going to... Is this going to be bolded? Are they all bolded? Oh, they are all bolded. Cool. And that's not even how you spell subtotal. What in the world? An A. Alright, yeah, of course. Of course. Here today on Tyler Can't Type. Talking and typing, hard to do. And what we're gonna do is make another column for the tags. So I was wondering if I could copy a comma properly, but I guess I can't. And now I maybe have too many commas. That's bad. Yes, too many commas now, which is not dandy. There's a good comma there, and not good. Not good comma? Not. There we go. And why are these heights so big? It should not be that big. Alright, good. And that's awesome. And I believe I want this one to be the tax. Because I wonder if certain things like tax matters where you keep track of the tax. Probably. Otherwise, they wouldn't be keeping track of them. And I wonder if I could actually make this horizontal width bigger. I'm not totally sure. Looks like the standard is 1.2. Wonder if column width maximum is a thing. Does not look to be the case. Does not look like I have that option yet. That's fine. We can make them bigger by adding another button. I just don't know what that button needs to be. And this also does not need to be a open URL. So I'm just gonna, get rid of that. Gonna get a new action, which is a submit, and I'm gonna get another, well, goodness, I couldn't even succeed in making a proper submit button. Alright, cool. So, and deny transaction. And then we're gonna want a, maybe like a report transaction. We'll just make it a report transaction, right? Not totally sure. Yeah, we'll make it a report transaction. Cool. And that should be good. And since we don't know the proper properties that we need to put here yet, we're not going to be able to establish what we want to call these. But it's probably going to be something like boom user dot merchant name. And then this will probably, well, actually we'll just go through it. And I'll just see if I can establish this as the properties. That I want. Time. Yeah, because if I could just establish these properties right now, this is what I can shoot for on the bot side. Merchant address. And then merchant purchased, which is going to be, well, this is going to be purchased items. Purchased. And that's probably going to be an array. I'm not totally sure if I need to classify that differently. I don't think I do. But if I wanted to, I could be like 0. But we'll just leave it like that for now. And then transaction. This one's good. This one's good. I want to get this, whatever this is. More of this, please. Yeah, more of this. This is what we'll be listening to from now on. But he does a lot of vocals. I just want his instrumentals. Ugh. Unfortunate. He's good though. Probably why I have him in my playlist. We'll keep it going. We'll keep it going. Alright. And then transaction subtotal. Cool, now we got a full adaptive card. And we're still deploying. But at least we have a full adaptive card, which is great. And we at least know the data that we'll probably be putting onto it. Some of it might come back null, just in case like it's not included. Like not all of them, I think, have a transaction date. The examples obviously do. Which is cool, but I don't think every receipt has like a standard thing. I don't think every receipt has a standard format, and it might be a little hard, but it seems like this one did pretty well. Didn't get the tax, but I don't think the tax existed on this receipt. Didn't get the address, but that's okay. It was in China? Shaiju? I don't know. Probably. But it did pretty good. I don't know. Maybe it'll exceed my expectations. Can't really check until we get to full deployment, which we're really, really close. So it's getting there. Come on, Azure. So we have this. Let's just go to Composer. Composer it is. I'll have to up the quality a little bit next stream. Video's a little fuzzy, but we'll fix that next time. So essentially the receipt file will be generated after. So we're just gonna have to call this user.receipt. I think we'll call it receipt card and call it that. And I know it doesn't exist. It's probably gonna be like, bro, it doesn't exist. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't exist, but I'll make it exist. I'll make it exist. So we're gonna make it exist. And what we need to do to make that exist is go to a different bot because I don't have it here. So let's do it here. I just need to grab the format because I know how to do it, but you know, doing it takes time and we're running low on time. So I'd rather go faster. Cool. So now that we got that, we can add an adaptive card to our bot, and we're going to call it a receipt card. We're getting better at spelling receipt. Receipt. Yeah, we can do it. Receipt. Yep. So everything now is set up for the receipt card, and essentially what this is set up a I believe this is a activity. Yeah. I think this is actually also an intent, but you're calling this function that has an activity that is storing the attachment JSON, receipt card JSON, and the receipt card JSON is the adaptive card that I just made. So I'm just going to copy that and I'm going to drop that here. And ta-da! Now my whole thing should be pretty good, and I want to stylize this real quick. I think I can make that negative. Negative. Yep. Cool. I think that's good to go. And then if we go back to the receipt card, it should be able to be good. Yeah, because now it exists. So we can reset the bot. Cool. And my deployment just finished. So now we can actually start moving on. Move on. Everything's good. We just need to copy and paste all this stuff, it says, into the publish section of Composer, which I will definitely do. Thank you. So we'll just do that. Boom. Cool. So we're redeploying this. Then I'll get to show you guys some cool stuff. So before we test that, I need to drop this into a new profile, which I'll just call received bot. And we want to publish it to the Azure web app. And we're gonna give it all this stuff, which it already knows from the previous deployment. And I could publish under this property. Maybe a missing plugin. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, Willis. I have no clue what you're talking about. Because this looks good to me. Cool. But essentially you provision all the resources and it sets up this composer publishing document, and it's an app manifest. It sets up the manifest for you to republish the bot over and over and over again. And now that I have that, I'm actually just going to publish it. So if everything is good, I should be able to publish the bot, and it says that it's accepted for publishing. So an hour and a half in, I have fully published a bot with an adaptive card, hopefully, and it's connected technically to a Power Automate flow. None of it's probably working at the moment, but all of the components are there to have a pretty good experience. So and once when it gets fully deployed, we'll actually be able to test the flow, see if it sends back a successful response, and Microsoft Teams. And then once when it's deployed on Microsoft Teams, people can use it. But also there's some debugging that needs to happen there. So it's pretty good that we have an hour and a half to go, because there's still going to be some more debugging, but we're on our way to actually having a successful receipt bot that can log and track expenses as you submit them and live your life. I don't know if I'll use this, but I'm sure some people will find this useful, and it's always good to have a good demo. So this is good. So it just successfully deployed. So I'm going to go to my Azure provision now and see what that looks like. So let's just go to my Azure resources, my receipt demo testing. And if everything worked, you can see that it's under the free pricing tier. So this doesn't really cost me anything, which is nice. And if everything's fine and dandy, it should welcome me with like no message really. So it should welcome me with a welcome message. There it is. Empty bot sample. Cool. So it is working. It is definitely working. Which is great. So an hour and a half-ish in. And it seems that we have a bot that's deployed to Azure services. Now we just have to start debugging and make sure that the image that's being sent to Power Automate is good. So I have a receipt, and it's going to ask me for the receipt, and I'm going to use my test Frank's receipt. And oh boy, that did work. That definitely worked. That worked good. That worked well. So as you can see, the receipt turned into a URL base 64 encoding. So this is, I think, more bot language that probably could decode. but that's technically being sent to. Nah, it failed. So let's see why it failed. It's not really giving me any details. Okay. Let's see what it did. Alright. Unable to identify MIME type input. Don't know what that means. So that is the URL, I believe. Let's see. Yep, that is the URL that goes to the receipt. Cool. And then it says this is the receipt file. And what was it expecting? That's what I really need to figure out. Is this expecting a file? Then it might be a little hard. So error code. Invalid prediction input. Yeah, so it must be expecting a different type. I don't really see, and this is where your time might go into a sync, because you might just run into something weird like this, because it doesn't want the URL, so it wants the file. So I'm gonna have to try to give it this, maybe data, but that just doesn't make much sense. Because that's the thumbnail URL. Well, it definitely didn't work, so that's good to know. It didn't like the image. So we're gonna have to see if we could test this a different way. Okay, try it out. It says it accepts JPEGs. Okay. Maybe I don't have it set up properly. When in doubt, it's probably just not set up properly. Oh, but I have nothing to set up. That's not. Alright. Thinking cap. Alright, let's see. The relative path, the method. Status code 400. So type application JSON, so that's good. Allows again. Okay. I wonder if I could put a file somewhere. Because we can test this a couple ways. So I wonder if I could put this file somewhere. So let's like create a file. Yeah, create a file. Content of the file is the URL. I mean, it could be, but we have to rechange the schema. We'll try this first. And then we're gonna just put it in my, wow. I'll just put in my attachments. And we'll just call it botflow receipt. Receipt temp. So I wonder if I can use the file because I wonder if it works with the path, because we test this from the previous run. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. Let's see. I think it'll totally fail, but it'll be interesting. If it succeeds, cool. Fails, cool. Wow. Wow, that's super cool. I have no clue why it failed now. Because it surprisingly created a file and called it receipt temp. And it looks like it did good. Cool. Don't know why that failed. Oh, cause that's not a file. Do I need to like I don't necessarily understand how I need to get this to work. Man, it's close. Maybe because that's the path. And it's trying to figure it out, but it's not getting there. Because I don't think that's what it needs. Let's try and check to see what this needs. So add. Yeah, AI builder. So process save information from receipts. Didn't even tell me anything. Didn't tell me anything. Maybe this. Okay, automatics, learn more. And that doesn't work. Cool. That's awesome. So I don't get to learn more either. So maybe this will tell me more. Do, don't. Cool. Cool. Can't falter that. So JPEG, PNG, or so these are JPEGs. So these work, and these are PNGs. So let's do the PNG. I mean, the PNG will also work. So it says. I mean, it has to. But this looks cool. This works. So the content URL failed. You know what? Let's get this into Teams, because maybe Teams will solve our problems. Maybe Teams. So we're gonna create a new app. Probably should just copy one. Yeah. One sec, guys, sneeze. Oh, no, I don't. Alright. We're calling it receipt bot. We're going to generate some stuff. Let's see. Bot. Chat mode. 1.0.0. No. Short description. This is a bot. Accepts receipts. Cool. And then chat mode. And then www.chatmode.io. Don't have any of that right now. Doesn't really matter. Bot. Existing bot. I believe you can just choose it. Yeah, which is great. That only happens if you have it set up with your existing account. So if you're logged in with the account that has your Azure provisions on it, you can just automatically connect it. And I'm just going to set this for personal scope. And that looks all good. I don't need any connectors right now. That's good. That's good. Good. Ooh. I need HTTP. Oof. I don't need that either. Don't need that. That's annoying. Can I get rid of that? Nope. Do I need to get rid of it in the app manifest? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Can I see it in the app manifest? Oh, no. I don't think so. Yes, I can. Cool. Get rid of that. Why can't I edit it? It's a preview. Ugh. Oof. Where is this located? Oh, I could probably download it and change it, but it's still very annoying. Because I don't know why I can't delete this. Don't know. It's fine. I'll just download it and delete it later. Can I... Oh yeah, I needed to add HTTP. Boom, boom. Yeah, that'll work. Cool. Does not match regex pattern. Oh my goodness. Alright, well. Let's grab that. Has to load first, I think. Alright, grab that. Boom, go back here. I don't know what it doesn't like. It doesn't like the www. Oh, yeah. So none of that was the issue. Yeah, none of that was the issue. That was my bad. So... But the tab's still weird, but hopefully that doesn't really interfere anything, and hopefully it doesn't, like, break. But... everything should be good if we just upload receipt bot. Looks like it'll work. Cool. Well, lo and behold, we are on Microsoft Teams now. I do not know if the welcome message will work. But we're here, and that's cool. I've given it time. Yeah, I thought so. I wonder why. We'll uninstall it. I think... I really, truly do believe that, the tab thing, which I was thinking was a problem, is a problem. Which you guys don't know what that is, but I'll show you. And it's in the manifest, and it's where I need to change some stuff. This one in particular. I don't even need static types, I don't think. But just for emphasis, and actually, yeah, it's not even gonna like that if I just keep it. It's like, you need to just get rid of it. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. It's like, yeah, you changed a lot. Yeah, I did, but I think that's what it needs. And oh, I need it to support files. True. I need that. All right. So let's, yes. I mean, who? Yeah. So let's hope that works. That file size is suspiciously small though. 1 kilobyte. Goodness. I don't know if this is gonna work. It doesn't look like it's gonna work. Doesn't look like it's gonna work. That's not a sign of a working bot. Yeah, no. Okay, cool. At least we know that's not working, which is always a good sign. So we can get to the point where it is working, which would be great. If it's on. Okay, back to this receipt bot. Cool. Oh, that's good. Exit color is black. Tabs. You know, I just don't. Uploading, downloading files. Yeah, that's good. Let's do that. Okay. See, that all looks good. It's unfortunate I can't delete that. We're just gonna name it that, just to make sure, and we're just gonna re-spin that app ID a couple times. Just to make sure. Check some stuff. I don't really have a app ID for it, so I'm not gonna give it to it. Then app manifest preview. You know, validation. Let's just try it. I think we need to download it first. So we're downloading it. Cool, we successfully downloaded it. Go to validation. Upload. Failed. It doesn't even know why. Okay. Cool. Well, it doesn't know why it failed, so worst case scenario, I am going to cut my losses on that, unfortunately, and make a new one. This is not a good example of Microsoft's succeeding products, unfortunately. Like it's straight up, it sent me to this, and it was just like, here, you could reference why it's failing. And it's just like how to set up a schema, and I'm like, I set one up, Composer set one up for me, and it's breaking. So, unfortunate. One point zero point zero. Seats. Gives. Expense. Reports. Cool. Chat mode. And then need to get chat mode name. Chat mode website. Again. I need that. Alright. So let's boom privacy. TOC. Good to go. Yeah. So let's hope that works. Cool. Tabs are good. And we're going to connect my ReceiptBot demo. It needs access to files and personal scope. It's not a calling bot, and it looks like that all got successfully set up. Doesn't really need access to any other domains. It looks like we're good to go. So I'm going to download that. Head over to validation, see if it works. Failed. That's so interesting. Do I need to update App Studio? Is there a reason for this failing? Huh. It's very interesting. I mean, I know it needs this. The version's good. Yep. Doesn't need these. It must need these. So maybe it actually needs the icons. But I think those default icons are there for a reason. But I think it really needs those. So let's just go get some icons. So icon finder for receipt. Let's get a free icon real quick. These all look like they're paid, but maybe there's a free one. If we are smart about it. Free icons only. Cool. I don't really need anything spiffy. I do want something that looks kind of cool. So let's go with, I mean, that looks, ooh, but you know, I think they have a specific requirement. Yeah, they need to be white. Like, yeah, they need to be white. So I can invert one of these real quick. Let's just see which one I want to invert. Well, actually, it doesn't even matter. You know what? We're not beholden to them right now. We're just making our own custom one. For fun, And the transparent outline. Let's just, I wonder if any of these other ones get small enough. Not really. I wonder. Well, if we need to, yeah, if we need to make one, because it looks like it is going that direction. So let's just open it up in Adobe real quick. Just make it white. Just set it for both and just make them small and do it the Microsoft way, because that's what they're gonna want anyways. So, how's time looking? Oh, we have an hour. All right, we're doing okay. We're getting there. There's a lot of stuff in the process that requires getting done to build a bot, but we're doing it. So, gonna select the inverse, and we're gonna change it to white, because that's what Microsoft wants. That's good. We're gonna save that, and I think we need to make it 1920 at 192. Cool. Let's save that, and then save another one at 32. Cool. Small. We'll just call it and we're good. So those are two things I could just upload real quick. Boom. Boom. Did this one update? They both updated. Cool. So there's receipt bot. I hope that's what it needed. I don't know if that is, but we'll find out. Cool. Check the... It's gonna fail. Oh, it succeeded. So it did just need some icons. Go figure. Wasted a couple minutes on that. Unfortunate. But cool to know. We're getting there, we're getting there. And who'd you know? It works. The icon looks a little spiffed, but we will have to look into fixing that. Maybe I just need to have a white background or something. Maybe a black background. Oh, it's all about your accent color, I think. And I think my accent color was white. That's a mistake. We'll fix that right now. We'll fix that right now. I'll go over on time a little bit. The official time that you can be streaming is 4 hours. So I think we're fitting into that timeline just nicely. I really wanted to get it under 3 hours, which I think we could still do if we make sense and speed of things. Let's make it that color for now. I don't know. Come on. Can you update? Cool. So let's try this one more time, hopefully. Let's see. Yeah, it just doesn't look great. But hopefully. Maybe if I put a black, because I think it's still open in Photoshop, maybe? Yeah. So let's go back a little bit. And let's just, you know, put a black background, because you know what? I'm all about making it look good. I really don't mind if it's perfectly within guidelines at the moment. So that's not what I wanted. I want black, please. Cool. That's gonna look a lot better, I think. Yeah, we'll just do that. That's fine. And I think we just need to make it smaller again. Actually, maybe let's make it an off black. Let's make it that. Yeah, it's better. Makes better. So let's make it smaller. I guess I should add Photoshop to the tool set of things that I'm using. But you know what? There's a lot of things that you have to use to be a conversational developer if you want to do everything, or an entrepreneur in general. You end up doing a lot of stuff. Let's see if that works. Looks like it worked. Cool. Yeah, that looks better, I think. Looks better. Let's down that. Let's delete this one and re-upload our other receipt bot. Cool, that looks a lot better, I think. In my mind, it does. And the icon small looks good too. So, and it looks like it still is gonna tell me hello. I don't know. Conversations should still work. Looks like our music went off, but I will add some more music. Back to my library, I suppose. Come on. Yeah, show more, please. Cool. All right. Cool. Please give me a receipt. Let's go to receipt tests, Franks. Cool, we're at the cool part of the stuff. 2 hours in. 2 hours in. I can send a photo in Microsoft Teams, and it gives me stuff and it tells me bad status code. That's all I've ever wanted. But you see, this is different. So this might actually work. This is what I was talking about. The specific download URL. Let's see if it works. Is it amazing? Is it beautiful? It is. It's beyond beautiful. This will work, guys. This will work, everyone. Ladies and gents, gather around. We have something that'll work. I'm pretty confident that 2 hours in. Alright, we're just testing our volume. I think we could gain ourselves a little bit. We're gonna gain ourselves a little bit. Oh, we can't. Let's turn up the volume a little bit on both. Cool. Yeah, because I feel like we're too quiet. That's fine. 2 hours. I can send a photo of Microsoft Teams. And it gives me stuff and it tells me bad status code. That's all I've ever wanted. But you see, this is different. Alright. So now that we have our receipt, it's actually generating a download URL, which is great. And now that we have a download URL, I'll actually come back to this flow and see if anything really changed, but I know it didn't, because what I need to do is I need to change this composer, what it's sending in composer from content URL. So I need to change this object to download URL instead of content URL, and I'll show you why. So download URL will make sure that the object that's being sent is actually the link to the download link instead of the image link, and maybe, just maybe, our process needs the download URL instead of the image URL. So we'll try that. Maybe I'll get a success 200 this time. We'll see. Cool. Yeah, because I feel like we're too quiet. That's fine. All right. So now that we have our receipt, it's actually generating a down. Ooh. All right. So listening to this actually at specific volumes does matter. That's interesting. That's nice to know. So if I have it loud, you guys can hear it loud. So I'm gonna keep it pretty low. Just so you guys know, I'm gonna keep it pretty low. All right, now that we have this saved, hopefully this download URL that I just set up will work. And it'll give me a success code in a sec, but I need to republish this, so I might need to Azure account get access token. So sorry if I'm jumping around a lot. This is just a day in the life of what it kind of is to hop between these tools and dev via Chatbot dev. We're currently building a receipt bot. We're almost done, actually. Like, we're getting there. Hopefully we will be done if we can republish this and we get a success 200 code. If we don't get a success 200 code, then we're not done. So that's where it is. And I gave myself a 3-hour timeline. Not sure where it's gonna go. But we're trying. Let's see, how much time do we got left? We got 45 minutes. All right. I mean, I'm feeling pretty good. If this download URL works, we'll be trucking along pretty well. And save this. It'll save a tiny bit of time if this gets used a lot. All right, so it successfully published, which is awesome, which means we have the most up-to-date version, and I'll double check that the object being sent with the receipt file is the download URL. So it is, and oof, maybe it might not work because I think it needs to be user receipt file dot content. Yeah, dot content. Yeah. So here's what it needs to be. Whoops. Content. Dot. Okay, so this should work. Yeah, because if you see here, what we published here was in the response, we set up a property, called it receipt file, and we just dumped that into a response. But what happened is I wanted to get to download URL, but I can't get to it because it's encapsulated inside of content. So content's another object that stores properties inside of it. So to access it, I need to access content first and then go to download URL. So that's why I went to content download URL, and hopefully that works. So I'll just restart the bot and then I'll have to republish. I probably don't have to restart the bot. I think that's just for emulation purposes, but you know, it is what it is. So that's still reloading. Yeah, because if you see here, what we published here was... Okay, so it's successfully published. We're gonna now republish it to Teams and to our web client. And this is going to take another 2 minutes or so. Hopefully it goes pretty fast. Because we're now down to 45 minutes being a bot. As time goes on, it is happening. Which is, see if it responds with a success 202, I think. And if it does, we can start to access the section that will give us the response object of the prediction model. Dang. Okay, cool. It's done. It's done. So that means I can now interact with it again. So I can say I have a receipt. And it might say that my dialogue has changed. It should. It'll probably say that you're using a previous version of the dialogue engine. And it probably give me that message in about 2. Oh, no, we're good. Cool. So I could just send it Frank's again. Yeah, replace it. It's fine. It's fine. Just replace it. Send it on its way. Come on. So you send it. And bad request code. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Well, that's no bueno. I wonder if we can access this URL. See, we can access this URL. I wonder, but that was the content URL. And we were trying to access that before, and I think that didn't necessarily work. So we're gonna have to see why that flow failed. So we're gonna go back. Okay, so it did trigger, it did get some information, it just failed. And it got this, which is the download URL. Unable to identify MIME type property. Invalid record, man, I don't know what information this is expecting. A receipt file. It doesn't make sense. So it can work over here, it just isn't working elsewhere. And I wonder what type of file it's looking for. So let's really debug this. So let's say use it in a flow. I've done this before. Okay, so it wants you to use it from OneDrive into Dataflux. Okay. And it wants to look at the file content. Okay, so it's looking for file content. It's not looking for URL. So if I look at one of these where we did have file content, I wonder if, see what this, oh, it does have file content. Okay. That's what I gave it. I wonder if I can get the file. Yeah, we're getting close. We're getting close. I'm very close. So now I know at least what it wants, because it's showing that it wants file content, which is fine. I would love this to work with other things, but it's not. So I'm gonna make when, so create file, and I'm gonna get file, of course. So get file. Get file content. Yep. That's what I want. And then I want this to go to my attachments, I think. And do I need it to be doing the download URL? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what works. Because I think I can do both. Because I can emulate both now. Because I have them stored up in my testing. And this file name needs to be test receipt. And the file content is going to be this. I wonder if Teams is outputting... No, it's not outputting the URL data, and it's not outputting the actual file content. So this is just a file download info. So this is just the file download info, which, you know, that's cool. Maybe we can get there from here by creating a file. So let's do this. And inside of attachments is the receipt temp. Ooh. Yeah, okay, that's cool. Let's call it receipt temp then. Because I need it to be called receipt temp. And then inside receipt temp is that. And then this needs to be bada bing, bada boom, file content. Cool. Hopefully this works. So let's try this again. I don't think it's gonna work. I just have a suspicion that it won't. Yeah, Huh. Content. This is crazy. Huh. So I've tried this input type so many types of ways. What is it looking for? Okay. I wonder if this will work. So I'm creating a file inside of attachments. So if this is truly, so document library is required. So if this is truly something that works and that they've tested and this specific flow works, we should be able to do it. And I don't need to add this. I don't need this. This is extra. So let's just save this. So when a file is created, it takes that file content and then it processes it. So if I... So that's saved. Cool. So if I test this other flow that I have right here that creates a file, it should trigger that other one. So let's try that. So now we can see if this gets triggered. I don't know if it did. And this failed, of course. Of course it did. I wonder if this is not recreating it. One sec. Can it overwrite? Nope. Okay. I wonder if I need to not infer the content type. And I wonder if I could just change it to 2 and then just make this 2. And save. And see if it'll just create a new one over here, because I really want this. Because it says when the file's created. So let's test this. So it should create a file. And I guess I could test it in Composer too. I just redeployed, right? Yeah, I did. So I'll redeploy again. And while that's going on, I'll still continue to try to look at this, because it's creating this, which it created that, and then it says file ID is not valid. Okay. Interesting. Well, that is cool. Let's see. And see if it goes all the way through now that I changed it to the content type. And we can also check this one real quick, because this one's the one that's theirs. It's technically supposed to be running and it's not working. So that's also not working. Goodness gracious. So AI Builder for the preview model of receipt building is not working, to my knowledge, and that did fix it, so that's nice. So this, I still can't figure out exactly why this won't work. We are creating a file from a URL. What is this expecting something else? I can go to my Outlook real quick. So let's go to Outlook. Let's check what's going on over there. Let's see what's going on in Outlook. What did I come here for? I came here because I was looking for my OneDrive. And I was going to attachments and I was looking for receipt temp, and this is why it's not working, because it has no clue what this is. Awesome. That's great. That's actually good to know. So that's why it's not working. It's because this URL is not creating anything. So what do I need to give it to actually create the file? So, I mean, if it's not going to be able to create the file that way, upload file from URL. That's what I need. Yeah, that's exactly what I need. Ah, love when it all comes together. Alright, we can now just put this in a freaking... This is awesome. This is awesome. Put it inside of attachments and call it. And yeah, we definitely overwrite every time. Every time. So test receipt. This is awesome. This is exactly what I was looking for. And then we get that. Call that test receipt. Yeah, it doesn't like that. It doesn't like that. It doesn't exist. You know what? I get it. Whew. Alright, how about we just delete that? Can we delete that? Oh, we can't delete. I mean, it just doesn't want to be a thing. Alright, how about we just delete it for now? And I wonder if this can get the content. It can't, but you know what? We're just gonna give it the name and just test it real quick, because if it actually uploads the file, then it actually has the file path that we can grab. And we can continue on with our process, and we probably only have 30 minutes. And yeah, we only have 30 minutes, but we're getting there. Okay, so now it actually probably created the file, which is great. So now we can actually get the file content. So get file content from that location that I really wanted. I don't want it on SharePoint though. I need it from get file content. Get file content from OneDrive Business, and then we do this. He's going the distance. Test receipt. Boom. Awesome. And that's exactly what I need. That's what I need. And I believe that's what we need. And we got file content. So I have no clue how this is going to work. I didn't even look at the other one. I don't know if this is going to work. This has the highest odds of working. If it doesn't, then oh boy. I think it's done it. I think we've done it. That's a big relief, because that means it's gonna work. It's gonna work. Oh, this is so cool. See, look at all this stuff that we have now. And I can send this all back to the bot, and it's gonna be just fine and dandy, right? It's gonna be so cool. It's gonna be so cool. So we got the total. Yeah, we got so much stuff. I don't know if we got everything. Doesn't seem like. Oh, it does get the items too. I mean, it really did well. I'm impressed. It did well. And it didn't add stuff to the row, but we'll look into that. We'll do that in a bit, because that's not what I need to do right now. What I need to do right now is response. I think, yeah. So yeah, a response. So response code 200, and then I could send out a body, which, oh man, this is gonna be so cool. This is gonna be so cool. I wonder, so yeah, I wonder if we could set it as an object. Yeah, this is probably what we want to do. So let's do this. And I don't need any headers. I just want to, so this is what we made the adaptive card for. I wonder if I still have it open. Yeah, I do. Cool. So here's what we're doing. Oh yeah, we're getting close. We're getting close. This is gonna be super cool. It's gonna be real nice. So we got a merchant name. So this is expecting a object JSON, I think. Yeah, JSON object. So we're gonna give it the merchant name. That should not be down there. It needs to be right here. Merchant name. Cool. And then put a comma there. That needs to be that. And then we put a comma there, and then you do merchant time. Then merchant 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 date, and then we get these, right? Transaction time, and then you get transaction date, but you get the process. We're going through. And we'll call this trans. Oh, our backspace isn't working because reasons. Transaction date. What? I love it. I just love. You're just like, oh, it should operate that way, but it doesn't, which is cool. It's cool. And then what else do we got? Phone number. We probably did. So merchant. And this is where you're like, wow, Tyler, why did you add in all that extra crap? You're like, oh yeah, you know, I probably didn't have to add in all this extra stuff, like the address and the phone number, but you know, if it does pull through, it's gonna look pretty cool. Merchant. Address. And then we do this. Merchant address. I mean, this is a lot of stuff, and then we do merchant items. Oh, but we're so close. Purchased items. We're getting close. And then you do tax. And then we got subtotal. Yeah. And I think that's all we need. And this is going to be our response object that goes back to the bot after we do the thingamaboop, the transaction, the reading of the receipt. The output oh no, I can't do this. I need to make it into an array. All right, we don't got time for purchased items right now. It's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate, but we're not doing it. We're not doing it right now. Just not a thing that I'm doing because I need to set up an array, and we only have 20 minutes. So can't do it. We're getting there though. Because we can do tax and subtotal. We don't want it from the spreadsheet though, because we're not even getting it from the spreadsheet. Come on. I know you're messing with me, but come on. All right. And subtotal is also in the wrong location. Cool, it's in the right location now. Oh, I went too low. Where's subtotal? There we go. So we have all the main stuff, I think. We'll work on the items next. So we're saving that. And what we need to do on the bot side now is actually save this response, because essentially we're not saving that response right now. So user receipt. Response. So we have a response card, and now we have a response. But a results property. So receipt results. Maybe I'll call it results. I think I need to call. What I call it in the designer. That's really what I need to call it, to be honest. Right here. Nope. That's not gonna work. So we're gonna have to change all that in the adaptive card, but that's fine. That's totally fine. Totally fine. So receipt results. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna copy that. Boom. Oh no. Okay. So this is catastrophic. I don't know why this happens sometimes, but the whole bot has now been destroyed. I wonder if we made another one. We did. So that's cool. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take stuff from the other bot, and I have no clue why that happened, but the whole bot just blew up. It is a bug with a composer. .1.0, and will I be able to open my bot back up? I don't know. So we're just gonna actually have to close back out and see if I can even open my bot. Let's close out of that. Man, a lot of bugs today. Very annoying. But we're so close. We're so close. Did this save properly? I think it did. Can Composer open? Come on. Okay, Composer is opening. I do not want to update. I really would not like an update. And I think this is not going to open properly, unfortunately, because all of the stuff is deleted. Yeah. I mean, I could probably try to retype it. Nah, it's just gonna bug out. So what do I need to do? I need to not. So what happened here? So this is good. This is also, I think, good. So that's fine. And this needs to be... I think I just delete this, unfortunately. Yeah, whatever. And I could just come over to ReceiptBot. It's good to have a backup. The good thing is that I didn't do a whole heck of a lot different up to ReceiptBot. I just don't know if ReceiptBot's gonna open for some reason. Because my Azure is open, I'm just gonna close Azure just in case. I mean, Composer's having a rough time. It's having a rough time. Let's just end the task. Let's back out of this and come back to it. So the test succeeded, so that's fantastic. Fantastic. So we are on the last steps if Composer didn't crash. But we do have a backup because, you know, I was pretty confident that things crash sometimes. So hopefully if we open up ReceiptBot right away, it still exists, right? Like, yeah. I mean, maybe I can copy this. I think I can. So, I mean, I can do this. I can do this. Yeah. I mean, this isn't horrible. So I just need to, if this doesn't open, okay, well it did. Well, all right, well, I can just do this because I think I already deleted. Yeah, I already did. Oh, I can't. That is very much a conundrum. I think I know why. I can fix it. It's unfortunate because I didn't break it. It's just it broke. And it's under the generation. Yeah, it's because I don't have a, what is it called? Receipt bot demo testing .english us.lg. Yeah, cool. Yep. Thank you. So that looks good. But I need to do that. Yeah. And I think that's what it needs. So let's just do that. And let's back out, come back in. I don't think it's gonna perfectly work, but I think I can. Yeah. All right. Well, I think it did work. So cool. I have my bot back again. That's good. So, but I do need to probably change this to. Oh, that's not perfect. Okay. I don't know. Maybe that is what it's supposed to be. Yeah, that is what that's supposed to be. But this needs to be download, I think. Yeah, download. And that's good. That's good. User dot receipt result. And I want to take that. Oh boy, this is where it crashed last time. I want to take that. And I want to encapsulate that into an expression that I can read. Cool. And I think it needed to be content. Yeah, it needed to be content. And yeah, I think that's everything. That's also good. And it looks like it's loading over here properly too. So if I can just republish this. Oh no. Okay, now it's gone. Good. But I only have 10 minutes probably. Yeah, pretty close to 10 minutes. But we're trucking along. I think we're gonna have a receipt bot that actually kind of somewhat does it. Takes data. So let's see what happens. I mean, it's coming along. I just need this to get it successfully deployed, all synced up, and cool, successfully deployed. And then I need it to confirm that the flow can successfully get triggered. So what's going on is it's uploading it. Getting the file content, sending it here, it's putting it into a table, but it's not really putting it into a table. Then it's sending it back in response, and I am, let's see, grabbing that. Yeah, I'm grabbing that, and then we'll see where we go from there. And I wonder if I still have the card. Yeah, I do. So we'll have to change these a little bit later, but we'll see when we get there. So let's see. I have a receipt. It should update. Cool. It's looking for a receipt. Already exists. That's totally fine. What it's gonna do, it's gonna take that info. It's gonna take that image. It's gonna create a OneDrive. And it should come back with a response, hopefully. I don't know if it will, to be honest. The flow needs to succeed, which did succeed. Big succeed, big succeed. That's huge. All right. Well, we have successfully completed our goal. It's not pretty, but we have 9 minutes to spare. So we're gonna try to make it look a little bit prettier while we got time. Sweet. It's so cool. It didn't get the subtotal for some reason. I wonder if that's because it literally didn't get the subtotal, or if like the subtotal didn't transfer. Let's check. Because it's successful. Wow. I mean, it worked. Totally worked. 100%. Okay, so it did not get that. It got the total. So maybe we need to use total, maybe not subtotal. Let's just use total, not subtotal. Yeah. So not subtotal, total. I mean, I don't know what the difference is, but it has a difference. That's for sure. Cool. Save that. So let's see. So I think these are saving under. So if I change around this adaptive card a tiny bit, it's not even that bad. So I think I'm saving it as user.receipt result. Receipt result. That merchant name will work. Yeah. I wonder if that's actually it. I think it's actually transaction date, and I think it's actually transaction time. And then I do receipt result. Cool. So let's do that. Boom. I think that's gonna work. I think merchant phone's right. Yeah, merchant phone. Is merchant address right? Yeah, totally. I just need to know if all that other crap's right. I don't think purchased. So transaction tax, I think that's actually just tax. And then total. Oop, twice. Whoops. That's my B. Alright, cool. That looks good. So we'll just resubmit that. Hopefully, well, we're not ready yet. We're not ready to resubmit that yet. So what we need to do is submit a good old response of what is it? Receipt card? Yeah, let's do that. That's gonna be good. Some good stuff. So we're just waiting for it to publish. Good old publishing. Alright, we only got like a couple minutes left. Hopefully this publishes and I can see a receipt. Transaction receipt. Didn't necessarily get as far as long as I liked, but I did I was successfully able to deploy a bot, get it all set up, make an adaptive card, submit a URL, a photo, get it analyzed, have it come back. So I have a receipt. So let's see if this all works. Come on, come on. I know you can do it. Yeah, I know you changed. Oh boy. That's not good. Okay. So what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Maybe I just need to start. Alright, hopefully. We just had it working a second ago. We tried to add in the response card, and maybe that's throwing it off. But we did get a successful right up here. So we'll see where this goes. The receipt card also, let's see, let's confirm that it was receipt result. Yeah, user.seat result. Okay, user.receipt result, transaction date, merchant phone, merchant address. Is there any apostrophes or commas that I missed? Doesn't look like it. Does not look like it. So receipt card. Let's just make sure that it's spelled right. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. And maybe I just need to redeploy it. I'm not totally sure. So let's just retry and publish it. So I have a receipt. Okay, so to serialize current JSON object, name value into JSON array. Okay, so it's looking. So there's something in there that it does not like. Because it thinks that it's an array. And we're gonna end. Oh man, we're down to the wire. I don't think it's gonna be perfect. I think we're gonna run out of time. Our 3-hour time limit, self-imposed time limit, it's gonna go over. I don't think we're gonna have a perfect receipt bot. We might go over a little bit, and I'm just gonna fix this bug and then we'll call it. Not totally sure why it's 100% failing at the moment, so I just redeployed it. Gonna have to redeploy it again. Let's see if that's fixed. It's gonna probably tell me that the dialog's changed. Or it's gonna tell me that it fails. Cannot deserialize current JSON object. Yeah, it can't deserialize current JSON object. Which doesn't make much sense. Because you were deserializing stuff recently. No, I have no clue what that means. Oh. Maybe it's because I had it set to object instead of expression. I was accidentally clicking this. I don't think it's supposed to be set to expression. I mean object. So that could be very much my doing. And it doesn't have a content type, which that's my B. So I wonder if I make a new one of these, because that's totally could be a thing. If it's, no, it's set standardized to object, so maybe that's not it. Maybe that's just not it. Okay, it does not have a built-in function. Don't know exactly what it's talking about. Alright, we ran over. But send activity. Oh, yeah, so we're having some language generator issues, unfortunately. That's very annoying. So let's see. So, attachment. That shouldn't be it. But that's definitely what's going on. So that was very weird. So let's reload this. Let's see if we can fix this real quick. Okay, that's good, that's good. I don't know what content type it wants. But I feel like this is fine. This is what we had last time. So we're just gonna redeploy. I mean, it's accepting, it's deploying this thing. Wonder if this is gonna work at all. I mean, we're getting close. We're almost done, actually. It's just we broke it somehow very near the end. And we're just trying to get it back. I'm not totally sure why it cannot deserialize the current JSON object. To fix this, either change the JSON to a JSON array or change the type. Do that. And I know what it's saying. It's saying need to change this property to something else, which is cool. I just wonder if I could set it all to expression. But no, it switches back. So I think I accidentally did something that broke it, but we'll totally check it now. But there's also a content type up here, so maybe I can just set it to this and it'll be fine. Because that's the type of content type that I'm technically sending it to. Yeah, this is not gonna, doesn't like itself at the moment. So I'm gonna set this content type to that. Because it needs a content type, I'm feeling. And I could be wrong also. And this could just take a while for me to figure out and debug. Ultimately, we do have it working, which is great. And Chrono is done. Alright, Chrono's been done for a while. So we're gonna take this last deployment, see if it works or not, and then shut down the stream. We had it working up here until I accidentally changed a setting on one of the attachments, and then it didn't like it anymore. But we can see that we uploaded this file and then we got a status code 200, and it was accepting that file, which is great. And it was able to analyze the merchant name, transaction time, date, phone number, merchant address, and tax and subtotal, which is great. I don't know why it's not able to access that attachment anymore, but we'll get there. Maybe not today. Yeah, because I don't think it's gonna like the object. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna have to try to fix this off stream, and we're gonna come back with a more cut down YouTube video of the receipt bot, and I'll show you guys that later. So I appreciate you guys watching, those of you that learned anything, and thank you for tuning in. I'll get this figured out, and get a more concise video out.